in 2020, iPhone released the iPhone 12 Pro, but this is 2026. If you are planning on getting it, what do you expect? Because this is a 6-year-old phone. Is it still any good? Well, I'll be right here with me. That'll be my daily driver, and I will break down for you what to expect, both pros, both cons, and if it's for you. Oh, and also the price. So let's get into it. So the design, that's what I started with. This was the year iPhone dramatically shifted from the smooth rounded edges of the iPhone 11 to a flat body structure of the iPhone 12 and 12 Pros and 12 Pro Max. And this is where people started that rumor, can your phone stand? And yes, 12 Pro upwards can stand. So does it actually make it any better? Well, from my experience, because I've been using this phone for up to 3 years, it makes it stronger. Because if you look carefully, the edges are very, very rounded, so they have more absorption to impact. Because I know how many times I've dropped this phone and it has not broken. And personally, I know a lot of people who use 12 Pro. I've never seen any of them change their screen. So if you're worried about breaking your phone, you don't have to worry about concerning this one, because it's very, very, very solid. And for colors, this right here is called Pacific Blue. Personally, this is the best color iPhone has ever brought out. I've not seen a better colored iPhone since this color. But there's also the black and the white, and I think there's the gold version. I'm not sure. I don't notice all those other colors. They're relevant to me, but this is the best color they've ever brought out. And then for the back, it's matte, so no fingerprints. But the sides are smooth, so they have fingerprints. But on the bright side of this having fingerprints is that you can grip it very well, unlike the 17s and 17 Pros and so on. So for design, for build, and it also uses Lightning, no Type-C. Type-C only came from iPhone 15 because of EU. If not for the EU, we wouldn't have Type-Cs on iPhone. We'd still be using Lightning. So one speaker here, and it uses the call speaker as the second speaker. Audio, I don't know how to feel about the audio. It's just there. But for build generally, because that's what we're focusing on now, I'll give it like a solid 8, because this phone is well built. And I personally, if you were looking for it based off how it's built, I recommend this phone. So now to the next display. This is an OLED. I'm not the most technically inclined when it comes to displays, to be honest. But from a personal vantage point, like what I've experienced using it, it's not bad. Like, it's still very bright. You can still see outdoors, but the breaking point, which most people won't even notice, is that it's 60 Hz. And I personally switched to a 120 Hz phone. That's how many times your phone can show you pictures of your screen. Oh, look it up. There's a lot of science behind it. It's basically how fast your phone can scroll. And this one doesn't scroll the fastest. It's not bad. Don't get me wrong. It's not bad. It's good, but they are better out there. But if you want to use an iPhone that will not tear your pocket, you can start from here. So for the screen, I'll give it like a 7, just because there's no 120 Hz. But brightness is okay, sharpness is okay. You can watch 4K, you can watch no 8K, but highest 4K on your YouTube, on your Netflix, on everything. And it's actually easy on the eye, especially when there's True Tone and night mode. So, screen, solid 7. On to the next segment. For performance, we have under the hood Apple A14 Bionic chip, which of course an Apple chip, Apple will do things well. Basically, for an average user, because this is my target audience, there is nothing that will not run on this phone. Like anything that will run on a 17 Pro Max will run on this, because what do people really use now? WhatsApp, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, basically social media apps, and maybe even for people working, you can use Google Forms and so on. But basically, it has everything you want to work. So for performance, especially me, I'm not a gamer. I don't play games on my phone, and truth be told, there isn't much games you can still play on an iPhone. You can play much more on an Android, because you can download from external sources and everything like that. But For performance, I'll put it at 7.5 because it gets hot. Don't get me wrong. There are sometimes I'm watching TikTok and for no reason the phone will just start to get hot, and I have to put it inside freezer because it will cause it to lag. So solid 7.5 for performance because it's good for everyday use, but for like heavy use, you will feel it slow down. And using under sun too, it will also slow down. So next segment. So cameras. Well, up onto the iPhone 14 Pros. iPhones always use the 12 megapixel camera. So as you can expect, these three cameras are 12 megapixels, just that they have different roles. This one is the macro, this one is the main, this is the ultra. If I get that wrong, forgive me. I don't use cameras that much. So, but for these three, when I use them, especially on Snapchat, which works great on iPhone, that's another video. Like, why does Snapchat have to do Android like that? Which works great. It does everything you want to do. If you take a picture with this and then you take with a 17 Pro Max, only a professional can really tell the difference between the two. For an average everyday user, it works great. Then you have this, which iPhone introduced starting from this phone 12 Pro. It's a LiDAR sensor, forgive me. It makes your portrait pictures better. So you can see that the background separation from the subject is much clearer compared to the likes of an 11 Pro or an 11. So for cameras, I'll give it an 8. The reason I wouldn't give it a 9 is that if you use cameras too much under the sun, it will start to overheat. You can see the pattern. Overheating is a big problem with this one, but it's a normal problem with every iPhone. Every phone basically when it comes to cameras. So cameras are great. So the battery. That's where this phone really loses out. It has a battery capacity of 2815 mAh. I don't know. Apple does this now every year. They do not have like a flat rate for battery. Like if I remember correctly, the 17 Pro Max is 4,900 and something mAh. Instead of them to put it full 5,000, I have no idea why they do that. And as a result of them putting that 2815 in this phone, which is even less than that of the 11, but not as less as that of the 11 Pro, it's very confusing. The battery is crap. It's horrible. But in their defense, my battery out is 73% now. That means when I wake up in the morning, I wake up around 6 every day, and I use my phone from 6, around 11 to 12, I'm already less than 20%. That from doing what? I don't play games, but the battery just keeps going. And because of that, I can't go anywhere without a power bank. It's worse, especially if you're under sun. If you're under sun, you can see your battery go from 30 to 20 in the blink of an eye. So battery is not what you are buying this phone for. If you are buying this phone, you are buying it for the aesthetics and for the performance and for the camera. So I would give battery a 4 out of 10. But it's not it. You could get it replaced, but that's also in of itself a risk, because what if you don't do it in a good place and it spoils something else in your phone? You could change your battery and your camera stops working, and then it becomes your problem, not mine. But yeah, battery is a solid 4 out of 10. So for software, it started with iOS 15 or so, I think, and 6 years down the line, Apple is still supporting this one. So we are going to get iOS 27, and that is amazing news, because most Androids that came out this same year do not get support anymore. There are very few you can make. I don't think Samsung even still supports their phones that came out from this year. But of course, that software also comes with the downside of more battery drain. That's why you're not advised to install the beta. I tried the beta iOS 18 back then when it first came out. My phone was scaring me. Sometimes it would just go up, sometimes it would glitch. Sometimes my speaker would just start making weird noises. It was a lot basically, man. Because software, you are covered. You can still have the new Siri, but you will not have all the new Siri features, I think. Because I know that this new Siri they gave from iPhone 16 upwards, they didn't give to 13 down. So software, especially when you're looking at the whole iOS software, I'll give it like 7. Because some things are just not straightforward. There's no back button. I hate that. I prefer Android software over iPhone. So that there are some features that are nice, but they're not important. Anyways, now final verdict. So 6 years down the line, this is still a solid phone, no doubt about that. Like, you can think of an iPhone that people forget about, and you think of this 12 Pro because there's nothing anybody has said is wrong with it. Okay, I think this to yourself. iPhone 13s, their screens were off. iPhone 14s is the same with 13. So people were angry with that. Or iPhone 14 was now 14 Pros were now the first dynamic island, and then 16s that nobody really talks about. Then 17 was like the first big change. But before then, there was the 12 Pro exactly. 12 Pro was like the perfect balance, but of course, there's no solution without a problem. Like, nothing is fully perfect. This phone is not 100%, most especially the battery and the slow screen. That is 100 and no 120 hertz. So if I was to rate this phone over 100, I'll give it a 78. 78 in the sense that it's an old phone, but for an old phone, it still can do everything all the new phones can do, everything important. So should you buy it in 2026? Well, I don't know how much is in your bank account, but I would advise you that yes, you should, because I checked the price online. I saw this phone for 320. You can get it less if you are buying from somebody that wants to sell it, not from a phone vendor. But I will advise you to be careful. I'll do a whole video on things to check when you're buying an iPhone so that you do not get scammed, because the Chinese clones are getting really good. So it's a really solid option for, especially for first time iPhone users or people that are just coming from like an iPhone 11. No, 11 is too close. Like an iPhone X or home button iPhone. I don't know which exactly I will mention. So it's a good choice. And I hope this video has helped you, because it helped me. I enjoy doing this. There will be many more content, so click the subscribe button and see you guys next time.